Doug Opheim is sitting next to me. Doug is the chairman of the U.S. Foundation for RSM. How are you doing? How are you holding up?
Great. How are you?
Good to see you. I'm
Good
doing
to see
well,
you.
thank you. So what is the U.S. Foundation?
U.S. Foundation is a foundation we started 10 years ago to help support youth in the communities that we operate in. And so we have now been at it 10 years. Our signature event of the year is the Power of Love campaign that happens around the RSM Classic.
I was going to ask you, when you a decade on now, you're going to put together this effort to help, and it's helping in the communities where RSM is. That's a key point for these kids. And yet the foundation of all that is golf.
Always has been. It's always, our entrance into the golf platform had a lot to do with stewardship. And this is just something we have built on over the years. There's 15 years of this tournament, but really it's been the last 10 years we've kicked it up as far as the RSM US Foundation and the support of our communities.
Talking about kicking it up, on Tuesday night at the Pro-Am draw party, Doug led a merry band that had the huge check. What was it, 5-6 feet wide, something
Easily.
like that, 7 feet. And they revealed what the results were of their collective efforts for the year that was passed. And once again, it was a record sum. You want to share with the world?
It was. We presented a check of over $5 million this year, and the key is we have over 12,000 employees participated in achieving that $5 million. But the key thing is the total is now $48 million over 10 years. But in reality, it's been the last 5 or 7 years because, like I said, it took a while to get going. But what I told everybody that night, I said, don't get lost in the numbers. Get lost in the fact of how many lives we are impacting with what we do with that money.
How do you know how many lives you're impacting? Do you guys get feedback from that where people say to you, here's how it impacted my organization?
Well, we don't really total it up, and I can't tell you it's 2,342. But what we do on every board meeting, every foundation board meeting, we have what we call an impact moment. And then we will have one of the charities that we have impacted come on and give a 2 or 3 minute and talk about the individuals that we have impacted with this grant. And it gets it back to reality. Like I said, when you're running a multi-million-dollar foundation, you do get lost in the numbers. But then impact moment is really designed to get us back to the lives that we are changing with that money. I'll
tell you what, from an accounting perspective, I'd like to have an accountant that tells me don't get lost in the numbers. Just as an aside, I think that's very strong.
We do for some programs, but not all the programs.
Of course. Now, back to the point of the amount of money that you made and the fact that you have these organizations come on and talk before the board meetings. Does anybody keep a dry eye?
Well, I was telling you, we did an impact moment at the partner meeting. I made a presentation celebrating our 10 years. And we had one of our students. She was from Ghana, I believe. And she came on and talked about what a difference our scholarship, our first generation scholarship, made to her and her family. And she was to the point of talking about how she's not sure if she can continue in school. Dad didn't have the money, and she says, so she talked about applying for the RSM scholarship and getting the scholarship and how that changed her life. And she's continuing with her studies, and she did that impact money. So that's an example, and there's hundreds of other examples, but that happens to be one where that was, I think, a few tears were shed during that. We had 1,500 partners in the room during that.
Incredible stuff.
It's great stuff.
I've known Doug now creeping up on 20 years through all of this and the varied path that it has taken to the heights of glory that it enjoys today and the impact that it has today, and also a significant sporting event that it represents. But that road that you have helped pave and build is a path that you're going to kind of take a step aside from very, very soon. Is that fair?
Yeah,
was I supposed to mention that?
Oh, sure. There's no secret about that. But no, after 26 years as a CFO, I stepped down really this summer and beginning to wind down. Still around for special projects. Still involved with the foundation, but it is time. And I'm doing it a long time. We define stewardship as leaving it better than what you started, and we started from zero at the RSM US Foundation 10 years ago, and we'll give over, by the time this year is done, over $50 million. So it's time for somebody else to take over and continue.
What are you going to do with yourself?
Maybe I'll go into radio or TV or something like that.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if there's any openings. No doubt. That philosophy of leaving it better than you found it, it's working for the foundation. It's working for you guys as a corporation, clearly. It's working here at the RSM Classic. And as I mentioned, a lot of that is because of your individual efforts, your individual vision, the leadership that you provided, and then the collective that you had working behind the scenes with you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
It's awesome.
Appreciate it.